Well, good morning, all. In our previous classes, we had a discussion on the first lesson, that is the curve in the sky, which has been completed successfully. And now, today, we are going to have a discussion on grammar chapter. All of your known to grammar since you people have been practicing reading grammar from your school days. So now in this chapter, in today's session, we are going to have a discussion on noun. I firmly hope that all of you are very much familiar with parts of speech where you people have come across with noun, pronoun, preposition, verb, adverb, adjective, interjection, and conjunction. So all of you know that very well. There are 8 parts of speech, and also each part of speech plays its own role in forming sentences, whether it is spoken or it is written. So in our today's session, we are going to have a discussion on the first part of speech, that is noun. Okay, and now let us come to the definition of noun. Okay, a noun is a part of speech that identifies a person, a place, a thing, a quality, a concept, or an idea. So what it denotes? A noun always denotes or identifies or refers of a person, of a place, of a thing, of a quality, or of a concept, or of an idea, or of emotion, or of thought, or anything that exists. That means whatever the thing that is existing in this world can be denoted by noun. Right? So this is the definition of noun. There are different kinds of nouns. There are number of nouns which we are going to discuss in our next session. Right? So let us come to the kinds of nouns. In noun, there are common nouns and proper nouns. So nouns are common nouns and proper nouns. Now let us come to the definition of common noun. What exactly the meaning of common noun or the definition of common noun? A common noun refers to a general class of person. So a common noun means it refers a general class of a person, or a general class of a place, or a general class of a object. Example, city. City means any city, whether it is Hyderabad, Bombay, Delhi, Calcutta, Chennai, Dubai, whatever. And state, any state, Telangana, Andhra, Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, like that. Common noun. And person. Person can be anyone. And a player, a book, a ball. So all these will come under common nouns. Right? Now, after completion of common noun, let us go for proper noun. what is proper noun. Okay? And now, as we have already completed common noun, the definition of common noun, and let us go for proper noun. So, a proper noun refers to a specific person. Just please listen to me very carefully. Proper noun. Proper itself is showing us that the noun of proper absolutely refers to a specific person or a specific place or a specific object. Right? For example, Hyderabad. Hyderabad is a specific place. Hyderabad is a specific city that is being mentioned here. And Telangana. Telangana is a specific state which is ours. Right? And then next, Radhika. Radhika means a specific girl or a specific woman. And next, Sachin Tendulkar. Sachin Tendulkar, a great cricketer, a world famous cricketer. Right? So, these are all called proper nouns. So, common noun we had discussed, and now proper noun also we have discussed. Now, let us come to the rule. When we are supposed to use common noun, it should be noted, because most of the students, they commit mistakes while writing capital letters. Right? So, in this regard, we have a note that we have to observe, that is like this. The first letter of a common noun is not capitalized unless the noun is the first word in a sentence. That means the first letter of a common noun should not be written in capital unless the noun begins in the sentence. Right? This is the first rule. The second rule is whereas the first letter of a proper noun is always capitalized. Proper noun should be, the first letter of proper noun should be always written in capital letter. That means Sachin Tendulkar, for example, just now we have come across with Radhika. It is a name, a proper name, a proper person's name. Sachin Tendulkar, a proper person's name. Hyderabad, a proper city's name. Right? Telangana, a proper state's name. So, all these nouns should be written, first letter of this noun should be written in capital. Now, let us go to the examples. Now, just have a look on these examples which I have underlined. Particularly in these sentences, I have underlined some nouns. Please try to find out what kind of nouns are they. Number one example. Hyderabad is the best city to live in. Hyderabad is the best city to live in. Now, let us try to find out what kind of a noun Hyderabad is. So, Hyderabad is a specific name, a particular city's name. So, that is why it is called proper noun. Understand? Hyderabad is the best city to live in. City, any city. That means it is a common noun. Hyderabad is a proper noun. City is a common noun. Let us go to second sentence. Cities are generally more crowded than villages. Cities are generally more crowded than villages. Don't think that in the first sentence there is a common noun and there is a proper noun. And don't try to be smart, because in this sentence also you will come across with the same things or same nouns like. So cities, which is being underlined, is a common noun, are generally more crowded than villages. Villages also common noun. Right? In this sentence we have two nouns which are common. And now Hyderabad is located in the state of Telangana. Hyderabad, once again, which we have come across in the earlier sentence. First sentence, Hyderabad is a particular city, so that is why it is called proper noun. Is located in the state of Telangana. Telangana is also a proper noun because specific. There is no Telangana state in the country. Right? So that is why Hyderabad is also proper noun. Telangana is also a proper noun. And now the last example. James Thurber. If I am not mistaken, most of you people might have not forgotten this author's name, since we had a discussion on this author's lesson, The Curb in the Sky. So the example has been given here to once again remind you the writer's name of the Curb in the Sky. James Thurber was a well-known short story writer. James Thurber was a well-known short story writer. I'm sorry, I have forgotten to underline writer here. So James Thurber, once again, proper noun. Writer means common noun, any writer. But here we have mentioned James Thurber particularly. So that is why James Thurber is a proper noun. Writer is a common noun. And now in your textbook there is a table in which you can come across with so many common nouns and proper nouns. So just try to solve this puzzle when you go home. Now let us come to the examples of common noun, proper noun. Okay? Common noun. Number one, mountain. Any mountain. Any mountain can be considered as a common noun. And now let us come to the proper noun. Mount Everest. Mount Everest. Now we are naming it. So that is why it is a proper noun. Let us come to common noun. Building. Building. Now let us come to the proper noun. Parliament. Parliament. Parliament means particular building. Right? So that is why it is considered as proper noun. Now sea. Any sea, ocean. Right? And when it comes to proper noun, we are naming it as Arabian Sea, Pacific Sea, Atlantic Sea, so on. Now park, common noun, any park. There are a number of parks. But when we are particular about one park, let us come to proper noun, that is Lumbini Park. That is Lumbini Park, which is situated in our Hyderabad. Right. Cartoon, common noun it is. Any kind of a cartoon. So example in proper noun, Mickey Mouse is a cartoon. Tom and Jerry is a famous cartoon. There are a number of cartoons are there. right? And then next common noun, website. Website. This is a common noun, any kind of a website. And when it comes to proper noun, it is there Google. Google. Like common noun, once again, holiday. Proper noun, in proper noun, Teacher's Day. Birthday, Gandhi Jayanti. Restaurant, Hammer. Hammer is a famous restaurant. Picture, mother. Mother is an old English picture for which number of awards bagged by this movie, right? Now we have completed common noun and proper noun, including the definitions along with examples. We have finished it. And now let us come to the other kinds of nouns. Those are called abstract nouns and concrete nouns. Abstract nouns and concrete nouns. See, whenever you are dealing with abstract nouns, you have to be very, very careful. Because abstract noun is something different from all other nouns. Right? So now let us come to the definition of abstract noun. What exactly abstract noun meant by? Abstract noun refer to things that cannot be detected through our five senses. Listen very carefully. Abstract nouns are the nouns which cannot be detected. That means which cannot be touched, which cannot be tasted, which cannot be smelled, which cannot be heard, which cannot be seen. So these kind of nouns are called abstract nouns. So for example, abstract nouns, like in these abstract nouns, there are number of examples like idea. Idea cannot be seen, isn't it? It can be implemented, but it cannot be seen. That means we cannot see idea. Quality. Quality. Quality can be felt, but cannot be touched. Concept. Concept can be written, concept can be implemented, but cannot be touched. Beauty, curiosity, love. If I say, I love my son very much. If someone asks me a question that how much I love him, I cannot just define in measurements. I love my son 100 tons of bag like, or millions of bags like. I love my son very much. That can be that can be felt, but it cannot be measured. Be careful, because abstract noun is very, very important. That is why I am stressing upon this one, right? So love cannot be shown, and hatred also. That means I hate that fellow like anything. How much you hate? It cannot be measured. All right. Happiness. I felt very happy when I had been to Delhi. How much happy you felt? You cannot measure it. And knowledge, unlimited. Wisdom, unlimited. Health. So these are all called abstract nouns. Now this is a definition of abstract nouns, and also we discussed examples of abstract nouns, right? And I try to expatiate in detail regarding abstract nouns. And now let us come to concrete noun. Okay, concrete noun. So, concrete. The title itself is showing or warning us or giving a hint, or it's a kind of insinuation, right? Concrete, that means which can be seen, which can be touched, right? So now let us come to the definition of concrete noun. Concrete noun refer to things that can be recognized through our senses. That means five senses. Five senses: hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, etc. Right? So, the things, the objects which can be seen, the things, the objects that can be touched, the things that are existing by smell, the things that are existing by hearing, these are all called concrete nouns. These things can be seen, these things can be heard, these things can be smelled, these things can be tasted, these things can be touched. So, in other words, concrete nouns refer to physical objects, just now I have said, that have mass. Mass means weight, right? For example, a ball. Take a ball, all of us know we can hold ball in our hands, right? Water can be seen, right? And then next a glass which we can hold, a bridge, a pen. So these are all concrete nouns. The things, the objects that are existing, that can be seen, that can be touched, that can be smelled, that can be heard, are called concrete nouns. And now in your textbook, one table has been given in which you people have asked to separate the words in the box below, labeling them either concrete or abstract noun. That means you have to recognize there are around 20 nouns have been given in this table. So you have to find out which word is a concrete noun, which word is a abstract noun. Like player, peace, fear, anger, clock, trust, monument, stone, impression, confidence, park, star, tower, motivation, soul, intelligence, muscle, excitement, computer, lamp. So these are the words that have been given in your textbook. So as I have mentioned you earlier that most of you may not have textbooks, so that is why it would be better if you write down these examples so that you can make easily, or you can find out easily what are the common nouns and what words are the abstract nouns. Okay, don't worry about it. I have done some exercise on that. Right, now let us come to the answers. I should not say answers. Right. See, peace. Peace is a state. It can be felt, that's all. It can be felt, that's all. Peace is abstract noun. Player. Player. Sachin Tendulkar is a player. Concrete noun. Fear. Abstract noun. That can be felt. Clock. Concrete noun. Anger. Just now I said hate. Anger. Abstract noun. Concrete noun. Tower. Tower is a concrete noun. Eiffel Tower, which is very famous in the world. Right? Situated in France. Okay. Located in France. Trust. Trust is abstract noun. Belief also comes under abstract noun. So there is a lot of difference between trust and belief, which we'll discuss later. So trust comes under abstract noun. Muscle can be seen. Impression, abstract noun. Monument, concrete noun. Any monument. Taj Mahal is a great monument. Parliament is a great monument. Lal Killa is a great monument. Then next, in abstract noun, confidence. Confidence comes under abstract noun. Stone comes under concrete noun. Motivation comes under abstract noun. Park comes under concrete noun. Soul comes under abstract noun. Star comes under concrete noun. Intelligence comes under abstract noun. Computer comes under concrete noun. Excitement comes under abstract noun. Lamp comes under concrete noun. Now, we have completed abstract noun, concrete noun with examples also. Now, let us come to another noun that is called collective noun. Collective noun. Common noun, proper noun, abstract noun, and concrete noun. Four have been completed. Four kinds of nouns have been completed. Now let us come to the fifth one, that is collective noun. A collective noun refers to a group of people, animals, or things treated as a single unit. So collective noun means it is a group of people or group of animal, group of things that can be treated as a single unit. Example, army. Army, our army. Now our army is fighting against China. Family, single unit. The Tata's family, the Birla's family, collective noun. Fleet, flock, bunch, team, etc., etc. And there are six fill in the blanks also have been given in the textbook, which I have also written for your comfort. Let us have a look on those sentences. A pack of wolves, it is called. A pack of wolves. A pack of wolves. That means a group of wolves is called a pack of wolves. Then next, a bunch of flowers. A bunch of flowers. Then next, a fleet of sailors. A fleet of sailors. Then next, a team of robbers. A team of robbers. A flock of stars. A flock of stars. Or you can say a flock of birds also. Okay. Then next, a herd of cattle. A herd of cattle. So these are called collective nouns, and I have collected some more collective nouns for your information, which you may not have come across in your studies. let us have a look on this, some other collective nouns which I have collected for your sake. Right. A school or a shoal of fish, a group of fish can be said as collective noun, like this: a school or a shoal of fish. The second one, a kennel of donkeys, donkeys group. It should be said as a kennel of donkeys. Like that, a group of lions can be named as a pride of lions, a pride of lions. And this collective noun can be used for elephants also, a pride of elephants also, right? And then next, a zeal of zebras, a zeal of zebras, zebras group can be named as a zeal of zebras. And then a pandemonium of parrots, a pandemonium of parrots. Then next, a muster of peacocks, a muster of peacocks. That means a group of peacocks, that means. A basque of crocodiles, a basque of crocodiles, that means a group of crocodiles is known as or called a basque of crocodiles. Like that, this is something very different and very strange. Archipelago, archipelago of islands, a group of islands can be named as archipelago of islands. And like that, a bevy of girls, a bevy of girls, that means a group of beautiful girls. In collective noun, it is named as a bevy of girls. A blush of boys, that means a group of boys, a blush of boys. And a pity of prisoners, a pity of prisoners. Like that, last one, a cloud of dust, a cloud of dust. Now, these are all called collective nouns. Now, let us go to another kind of noun, that is compound noun. So, compound noun, the compound name itself is giving information to us. What kind of information? A compound noun is formed by the combination of two or more words. That means a compound noun is a noun which is a combination of two or more words. For example, mother-in-law. Mother is one word, law is another word. School bus. School is one word, bus is another one. Bedroom. Bed is one word, room is another word. So both to them joined together and we are making it compound noun. Compound nouns can be made by various types of combinations. Compound nouns can be made up various types of combination. Let us have a look on this table I have given to you people. Go for first one, noun plus noun. Noun plus noun. Adjective plus noun. Verb plus noun. Noun plus verb. Okay? So now, in noun plus noun, how we can make compound noun? Okay? Just have a look. University, campus, noun plus noun. University is a noun, campus is also a noun. Right? Like that, Chief Justice. Chief Justice. Chief is a noun, justice is also a noun. Mileage. Mileage. Mile, age. Then next, customs officer. Customs officer. Now let us come to the adjective plus noun. Adjective. First one, Supreme Court. Supreme, adjective. Court, noun. Blackboard. Second one, blackboard. Black is an adjective, color. Board is a noun. Then next, red rose. Red is a color once again. Rose, flower, noun. Then next, last one, lovely person. Lovely is an adjective, person is noun. Now let us come to the third one, verb plus noun. Verb, swimming pool. Swimming is a verb, pool is a noun. Second one, training camp, where people get trained. That is called training camp. Training is a verb, camp is a noun. And now this is very familiar word with everyone, washing machine. Washing is a verb, machine is a noun, washing machine. And this is also very common to everyone, driving license. Driving is a verb, license is a noun. And now let us come to the last one, noun plus verb. Haircut. Hair is a noun, cut is a verb. Sunrise. Sun is a noun, rise is verb. Rainfall. Rain is a noun, fall is a verb. Milkshake. Milk is a noun, shake is a verb. Now let us come to another noun that is called countable noun. Countable noun. Anjay, time ఎంత తెలుసు? Now, in countable noun, let us have a look on countable noun. Countable nouns are people, places, objects, etc., which can be counted. That means the nouns that can be counted is called countable. Such noun can have singular or plural forms. So it can be either singular form or it can be or in plural form also. For example, brother, brothers, city, cities, mouse, mice. So these can be counted in numbers as in 2 brothers or 3 cities like, right? So these are called countable nouns. Now let us come to the uncountable nouns. Uncountable nouns, which cannot be counted. So in this area, in this uncountable noun, what are the things that comes under uncountable nouns? These are concepts. Concepts, that means ideas, substances, etc., which cannot be counted because they cannot be divided into separate. We cannot separate concepts, we cannot separate substances. Okay? Individual elements, for example, water, milk, bread, oil. So these are all comes under uncountable nouns which cannot be divided into separate or into individual elements. But one interesting thing which we can find, that uncountable nouns can, however, they can be quantified with the addition of countable nouns. They can be quantified. How? Like a glass of water. A glass of water. Water is uncountable noun, glass is a countable noun. 1 liter of milk. Milk, uncountable, 1 is countable. 2 loaves of bread. Bread, uncountable, 2 countable. Or 3 bottles of oil. 3 is countable once again, oil is uncountable. Now let us have a look on how quantify the following uncountable nouns and make them countable. Now this is also example to you people in your textbook. It is given for your comfort. I have done it. Right. Now let us come to the luggage. This is also comes under uncountable noun, but it can be quantified by adding what you call countable noun. For example, luggage, a bag of rice, a bag of flour, a bag of wheat, like that. Furniture, a table means single table, a chair, one chair, a piece of furniture, tables, chairs, pieces of furniture, like that. Juice, a glass of juice. I need a glass of juice. I need a bottle of juice. I need a carton of juice, like that. Paper, a piece of paper, a bundle of paper, a sheet of paper, a strip of paper, right? And glue, a tube of glue. Butter, a pat of butter, pats of butter, like that. Coffee, a cup of coffee, a bag of coffee, and then next sugar, a sugar cube, a spoonful of sugar, a bowl of sugar, sugar cubes, spoonfuls, bowls of sugar. And money, a note, a coin, notes, coins. Information, a piece of information, lot of information. So this is what you call, in our today's session we have successfully completed grammar chapter, in which we discussed on noun. We have come across with all kinds of nouns, with all kinds of with examples. I hope you enjoyed it very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.